We are Slade and Michael, and we're playing the indie hack. As far as you can tell, they don't want to anger the stones or something. That's the only theory that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not like it's a force field, though, like they all end at one spot or anything like that.
No, they're kind of scattered around. And
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I help him up to the top then.
There's a little chittering kind of noise and some splashing through mud. It's not clear what has happened to your attackers, but they're definitely moving.
Did I ever even see what they were? Were they human? Were they...
The arrows look like human crafted arrows, but that's
all I know.
That's all you really know. You didn't see any shapes moving at all.
Damn. Okay. I help Kalani up to the top of the hill then, and once we can get him someplace to rest, I will look at his leg, see what's wrong with it.
So he has an arrow through one of his legs. His right leg, halfway between ankle and knee.
I look around, make sure that the area is clear as far as I can see. Probably lay the babe down and then my gear and start a prayer to the three ladies to see if I can maybe heal his wound.
Great, give it a roll.
1 light die and a 2 on the dark die, so 2 over.
You're going to get your detail, but you're going to have some negative detail added to something of yours.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think the detail I will add that my hands probably light up as I'm doing this prayer. I move the arrow out, probably with some sounds coming from Kalani of pain, and then last but not least, I start healing the wound and actually trying to bind it closed.
Okay. How does that adversely affect you?
Oof, I want to say that, does it hurt me, or does it hurt Kalani and make him not available to me? Like, I lose him as a source of knowledge. Yeah, I think the pain makes him go unconscious.
Okay. So you're pushing this one onto him.
Yeah. I think so.
It makes sense. It makes sense within the story. So, although you've healed that wound, he's maybe lost a lot of blood by the time you've healed him, and he's going to be
out for a while.
Pretty out for a little while, yeah. He gestures towards the child and says something that seems important, but you're not sure what.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I make sure he's up against something, kind of shielded as much as we can be on top of a hill against people who use arrows. Probably not the best spot to be in. I begin looking around the hill. Once again, Abel studied with some of the best people at reading symbols, so I'm going to start moving around and looking at the rocks and the space that I'm in. Try to figure out if I can figure out what's going on here.
If this is indeed a nexus of energy for the Swamp Clan, or some other people that live here, you know that what you need to do is stand directly in the center of these concentric stone circles to do your ritual.
And then do I know what the ritual is? I remember that I got a little bit of that from Kalani. Remember he was saying, oh yeah, we can do it this way or we can do it this way. So I know a little bit about what to do, but do I know the full ritual? It's
essentially a kind of anointing with mud. You take a bit of mud and you rub it across the top of his head and the soles of his feet, and this is supposed to somehow purge the foul energies that theoretically have taken control of the child's body.
Oh, okay. Do I know anything else about this site? Like, what would make this site special for the swamp people?
No idea. It's some kind of nexus of energy. It's not too clear why this is a magical place, but it is clear that it is a very magical place.
Like, I can kind of feel that there's that natural energy, at least.
Yeah, the feeling here is very strange. It's all of a sudden very dry. You remember that in the swamp it was very oppressively damp and just kind of stuffy air, but here everything is very dry, very sort of crisp and clear. It's almost as if you've come out of a fog.
I say a quick prayer to my gods, the ladies, and I pick up the baby and I guess Mud and go to the center of the circles.
Let's roll this as a Light of the Mother.
Sounds good to me. Oh, dice roller, you failed me. A light die of 5 and a dark die of 2.
So I get to add 1 hard detail. You perform the ritual. The child stops crying and seems very focused while you're doing it. Then light kind of begins to fade from the sky and become a little bit reddish gray, and you can hear a kind of howling and a whistling. It becomes clear to you that whatever you've done has attracted the attention of some malevolent spirit.
God, I'm like holding the babe with one hand. I run over and I grab my sword. I only have the baby in the other hand, so I don't want to put it down anywhere. Yeah, I have my sword, and I go back to the circles. I'm looking like in the air around us, probably panicking a bit, trying to isolate the howling, but I'm almost figuring, like, from the way you're describing this red-gray sky and the howling, it's like almost kind of coming from everywhere at this point. It
seems like the creature, whatever it is sort of jumping from stone to stone. You can kind of hear it over here, and then you can hear it over there. Its kind of howling is growing louder and louder, and at one point, from behind one of the stones, you see a red-faced creature with bright yellow eyes, and it peeks its head up from behind one of these stones.
What are you?
It cackles and disappears behind that stone.
I am moving toward wherever I put Kalani. I'm going to stand guard over him.
Okay.
Actually, I'll move. As I move toward Kalani, my plan is to put his son on top of him, like lay them down together, and then pick up my shield, so that way I'm ready to fight whatever this thing is.
Okay, sounds good. The creature pops its head out again, but from a different stone. A stone that's 3 or 4 stones away. You're not really sure how it's traveling, but it looks around, seeing that there's only you to defend these tasty morsels. It walks out from behind the stone. It's got small horn-like projections coming out of its red, shiny flesh, and great 4-inch long black talon-like fingernail claws. It begins to step towards you from the other side of the stone circle. When you hear from the path a voice cry out, "Kalani!"
I churn toward the path while trying to keep an eye on the beast in front of me.
It's Kalani's wife and the child's mother, and she's running up the path, an arrow in her shoulder, but otherwise unharmed, apparently.
Hi, this is Jason from the Gauntlet Gaming Community. If you enjoyed this episode of Comic Strip AP, please consider supporting the Gauntlet on Patreon. Our page can be found at patreon.com/gauntlet.